I'll repeal it.
In today's Money Count segment, GOP frontrunner Mitt Romney continuing to insist that if he is elected, President Obama's signature health care law will be history. But do we trust the guy who did his own version of mandated health care in Massachusetts to stop Obamacare? Former New York Lieutenant Governor and health care advocate Betsy McCaughey joining us now. So, Betsy, do you believe him? Do you think that a guy who sort of forced the same kind of thing, forced you to buy insurance in Massachusetts, will get rid of Obamacare?
Well, here's what you should know. Romneycare and Obamacare are identical. Individual mandate, employer mandate, telling doctors how to treat patients, mandatory electronic medical records, end-of-life program, and medical homes, which is this decade's euphemism for HMOs.
Wow. Well, Romney says that the main difference is that he would not enforce health insurance on people federally. States are free to do what they want, but the federal difference is the main one, according to him.
The fact is, what's so similar, literally identical about these two plans is that they both tell doctors how to treat their patients.
Interesting.
The premise behind both of these could cost you your life, because both the architects of Romneycare and Obamacare say they can cut the care patients get by 30% without doing harm. But science proves they're wrong. The science shows that patients treated at those low-spending hospitals with fewer tests, fewer days in the hospital, cost patients their lives. In fact, a brand new study in California...
Okay, wait, before we get into studies and everything, what you were saying is critical, because what you're saying, I didn't realize that a lot of the mandates for doctors were in the Massachusetts, or in Romneycare. The same things are in Obamacare. So to me, it sounds like all he would be interested in doing would be tweaking what Obamacare is.
Well, my expertise is information, not prediction, but if you read Chapter 305 of the Massachusetts Health Law of 2006, you will see the blueprint of Obamacare. It is identical.
Has anybody ever forced him on this point, any other candidates running against him, say, look, Governor, when you look at Romneycare, you see many of the same aspects of Obamacare in it?
I've heard claims that only 8% of the people in Massachusetts are affected by this law. Untrue, 100% are affected.
So what about doctors? Are doctors now moving out of Massachusetts as a result?
I haven't seen the studies on that yet, but I can tell you that the plan in Massachusetts is for a board of non-physicians to dictate how doctors treat patients, specific individual cases. That's very disturbing. That's just like Section 1311 of the Obama Health Law.
Is that the famous death panel that we were talking about?
Called
okay,
death
it's
panel,
little different from that.
That's right. But the fact is that both of them have this government knows best attitude. So what will happen after the election? It's hard to say. But even with a Republican president, we also have to make sure that the go along to get along, Republican people who are in the high positions in Congress don't give in. We want immediate and total repeal, not just tinkering around the edges.
Well, the two main things that Americans want, I think, with regard to health care is, one, they want more choice, not less choice, and two, they want lower prices, not higher prices.
And three, they don't want government dictating how their doctors treat them.
The fact is that government involvement increases the price of everything, and government involvement, of course, decreases the choice that you have.
And what the studies show is that it can cost you your life. In the study, 13,000 California patients would have lived had they been at a hospital that provided more tests and more care rather than less. 13,000 patients with hip fractures, congestive heart failure, and stroke.
And you have studies that go on one side or the other. But
no, they don't.
Is there any doubt at all that one thing that is pushing up the cost of premiums is the fact that Obamacare forces insurance companies to do more things without accommodating the cost of those things?
Forces consumers and employers to provide more benefits, an array of benefits not everybody wants. There's no tooth fairy. If you have to buy a plan with more things in it, you pay more.
And that's why people are being dropped from plans right now.
That's right. And under Obamacare, many people are going to lose their employer-provided health insurance, up to half, according to McKinsey and Company, and many of them will end up in Medicaid.
All right, so you're not going to predict what Romney's going to do if he's elected president. However, based on what Romneycare is, and based on the fact that he hasn't pushed away from anything in Romneycare, because he's been asked whether anything in there that he disagrees with now, and he says no. Don't you think that he would sort of adopt basically Obamacare as it is?
I would urge the public and the media to look more closely at Romneycare before they make a decision.
Betsy McCaughey, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Well, a 48-year-old man with a 42-year-old daughter, how is that possible? He adopted her. Why? to take advantage of a financial loophole. Oh, did I mention, by the way, the girl is also his girlfriend? Loophole Nation is next. But first, Eric Bolling is here to tell us what's on his show tonight. Eric?
David, coming up next on Follow the Money.